Come, sir. The last time I call him the one-legged assassin. The last time I played with him in Abuja, we played with some very, very low handicappers, and Bayo was moving like that. And each time the low handicapper goes, Bayo will flag his ball, play a birdie to block the man. And he will be going, he said, "This is my leg. This is my leg." But it is all part of it. That was his hand. I survived. Because I was on his side. Anytime I could just touch her, I say, Capio. So that was his handicap. So today we are here to talk about handicaps. Not the handicap of leg, but we're here to talk about world handicap system in... Thank you very much. Let me just do my five slides and then switch to my yes. So I'll start from the beginning. Where's that, my mouse? Okay. I just put together, so I come from a background where we do slide engineering. So I put together a few, what I'll call talking points. Oh, Peter, c'est pas possible. This mouse is not working. Okay, I want to start from here. Slideshow. From the beginning. Okay, yes, go. This is just a title, just to say we're having our workshop today, 7th of August, on the World Handicap System in the workshop. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so I just have a few things I've put here. I said it's something I found very interesting. You see, what we don't understand, we fear, okay? What we fear, we judge as evil. What we judge as evil, we attempt to control. What we cannot control, we attack. The author is unknown, but this is, one of the few things. Next slide, okay. And then I got this, really, the process of change is not something that happens just like that. You wake up in the morning and then everything has happened, okay? It's not an event. It's a journey, okay? It's not an event. It's a journey. And this is very interesting. In the beginning, you're very happy with the system you have. Whatever the system is, I'm happy with it. I'm happy the way I am. And so, what is all this? Why do this is not... No, go back. Previous slide, okay. This is not relevant. Why? It's not relevant to anything I'm doing. What's all this? I'm not having this. What is this? You have to take it away. So we're sort of like somewhere inside the bottom of that curve, okay? But with the right mindset and the right energy, we should find ourselves, where we are today is the first stage of what I call, sorry, hello, one house, please. Sorry, I beg, one house. So right now we're going through, this is what I'll call the first step in what I call the exploration work, which is, can this work for me? So that's where we are now. Okay, hopefully it's not going to be the end. So it's not a one-off. So in the course of the next 1 year, we hope that we will be able to go from an exploration phase to a commitment phase. Next slide, please. Now, I dug into the database of how did I do in order to extract the scores that have been entered into the system that are associated to this club. And you would see that we have 2 generations of scores that are in the system. There was the first generation. When I first saw it, I thought it was a mistake because it was 2011 and 2012. I thought, oh, maybe they made a mistake. I thought maybe it was 2021 and 2022. And then there's what I call the second generation. There are two peaks in the second generation. The first peak was our first, the first peak that you see there on the right side in the second generation was when we tried to implement the few scores that were entered during 2023, when we tried to launch the program. And then this second generation of scores that you see in the system is, we took a position in June, no, not June, April 35. We took a position in May to say, okay, guys, Samson, let's start entering all the scores into the system. Yeah, but we still have master scoreboard. Okay, had to be loading scores in master scoreboard and in how did I do since the beginning of June. No, go back. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. Okay. Now, this first generation of data that was loaded into the system apparently was before the implementation of master scoreboard. So the club was looking for software to digitize our processes in terms of getting a handicap. So a number of software were evaluated apparently, and how did I do was one of them, okay? So you can understand that that girl that you met when you were younger and you tried to be friends with her and it didn't work, the second time around, you would have biases that are coming from a previous experience. But that is human nature. But this time around, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, I just wanted to extract this message, okay, because it was a message that was published on the 30th of May that said we want to relaunch the submission of scorecards because we noticed that people were not submitting their scorecards. And you notice that it was because it all tied into when we started entering scores into how did I do, okay? But for now, today, Samson enters the scores for official club competitions, which is the monthly mug. But for the other events, all the scores are not entered and the data is not as much, okay? But for a number of people, because when I go into the system, right now I have only 17 scores. There are people like the Spirit, who is a diligent man, and you see it on his game in the golf course. He has over almost 30 scores that are already entered into the How Did I Do system because he diligently enters his scores as he plays. And I think that is good practice, okay? So what we are saying here, this message, okay, because we are gradually getting into a point where we might have to go into some form of enforcement. We said it is important to note that players with non-submission of cards on a weekly or monthly basis. So if you book and you get into a game, you play, most times people only submit, I played well. That is why a lot of us are carrying what my friend Chidimoma will call vanity handicaps. A lot of our members are carrying vanity handicaps because we only submit scores when we play well, okay? But with this new system, we're hoping to be able to enforce a system whereby you have to log into your game in order to be able to play. And we're able to check very clearly who logged into a game and did not submit a scorecard. Thank you very much. I would cede the floor to Godson to carry on from here. Next slide, just next slide before we... I just wanted to let you guys know that we already have quite a number of people already on the system. So the boss, I started with boss, but when I started with boss, somebody say, maybe if I started with boss, some people say, this is Lagos, not be on it, shall be this. So make I no use boss. So I changed it from boss to flight. The flight is loaded. We have people, so you are all, we've done the work, we've put people onto the system, so it's just to do the effort to populate it. So the flight is loaded, we are ready to go, so thank you very much.
Golfers all. Golfers all. My name is Gibson Ezekiel Lee. There are some people who know me here. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the captain and members of ESCO for inviting me here. What I'm here to do is to share our experience of using this system. It was 2022 that 5 clubs had a video training on how to use this system. And the 5 clubs were Ikoyi, Ikeja, Asaba, IBB, and Abeokuta. That was in 2022. And it took 6 months to actually have a database. All the 5 clubs were asked to submit 20 scorecards of all their members. From those 20 scorecards, we now start with a new handicap to start with this world handicap system. Because it took another 3 months, that's 9 months in total, for all the scorecards to be submitted by all the clubs. When eventually the world handicap system started, they couldn't load all the 20 scorecards of all the clubs. What they did was to take everybody's handicap as of that date, 2022. So when the system starts at your club, the starting handicap will be the handicap that was submitted in 2022. That is the main reason why people get upset and frustrated. That the handicap I had 2 years ago is what I'm playing now. What then happens is, from when you start entering your scorecard in the system, it will start a new process. You need 20 cards to add to your starting handicap before your handicap stabilizes. If you have less than 20 cards, your handicap will yo-yo. Today, you're 12, tomorrow, you're 14, next tomorrow, you're 10, because if you put in a low score, your handicap will go down. Put in a high score, it will go down. But when you get to 20, it will now pick 8 of your best score going forward. Subsequent cards you put in, it will discount the very first scorecard. So your first card was in February, and your last card was today. When you play tomorrow, that February scorecard is thrown away. So it is 20 rolling scorecards. This is a source of frustration for all members. And the complaints that emanates from that, oh, it doesn't work, it's confusing, I don't want to use it, let's go back to Congo, let's use master scorecard. It happens. It needs a bit of patience. This is my 3rd club I've come in to share our experience. And what I find is this. This system, how did I do? Will only work if you open your mind. If you have a closed mind to this system, it's not going to work. With all the excuses I just given, it won't work for you. You can sit here from now until tomorrow and listen to me go on. It's just going to go in one ear, come in the other ear. But if you have an open mind that we need to move forward, it will work for you. One thing is certain. The Nigerian Golf Federation, we are now bought into World Handicap System. And if you want to play golf, any competitive golf, anywhere in the world, if you don't have World Handicap System, what you call the CDH, that is your ID card. You go to Kenya, Rwanda, UK, US, anywhere. You don't have your CDH from your home club. You cannot play competitive golf. So the sooner you accept this, the better for everyone. Okay, sharing our experience. Let me explain how the handicap system works. The first slide, please. So as I said, the basic premise of your handicap starts with 20 scorecards. Once you have 20 scorecards in the system, what it now does is to pick your best 8 score. Remember, that's your starting to determine your handicap or regulate your handicap. That is starting. So pick out your best 8 score from here. Don't worry, it's been done for you. Next slide, please. So your best 8 score from these 20 scorecards are highlighted. Okay? That's your best 8 score. What it then does is it takes the gross score from those best 8 and averages them. 9.5, 10, whatever. Okay, that's your handicap. Now, what happens when you play your next card or your next game and you submit your card? You now have 21 cards. The first thing that will happen is that 82 is thrown out. That 82 happens to be one of your best 8. What the system will now do is to find another score to become 8. Now note 87. 87 is now your next best score, which you now replace. Don't worry about what your next scorecard is going to be for now, okay? Let's assume, next slide, please. So your next scorecard is coming, you scored 98. What's going to happen? 98 doesn't matter. Your 87 at the top is gone. Your next 8 scorecards is highlighted. That 87 has now come in to become one of your best 8. Notice before, previous slide, please. Your average before was 80.5. Okay? Next slide, please. Your next average is now 81.1. What's going to happen? Your handicap is gone up. Next slide, please. What happens if that 98 is 74? What then happens? That 87 is now thrown out. That 74 is now one of your best 8. Your average is now 79.5. What happens? What happens if you don't have 20 scorecards? You have only 8. Next slide, please. You have only 8 scorecards. What happens? That's your best 8. When you now put in your, yes? Hi. For now, the system, it's okay. It's a valid question, and I will answer it. By the way, it's interactive. It's not a lecture. So anytime, just jump in and ask a question. The reason why I said that is, for now, the system needs 2 years of cards before we start putting in 9 holes. Because we've just started. So we need enough data. Some people here don't even have 10 scorecard system. If we start putting 9 holes, it will be complicated. Because stroke index is different, blah, 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 and course rating. It's a valid point. So we're back to you only have 8 scorecards. That 8 scorecard happened to your best 8. You now put in your 9th scorecard. Next, 92.9, remember? Based on 8. Your next card is now 80. 103 is now thrown out. Your new average is 89.9. What's going to happen? You're going down. Next. Your next score is 106, card number 9. And you're asking, why didn't my handicap change? Your handicap will not change because 106 is relevant. Your best 8 still remains the same. Your handicap stays the same. So people are saying, oh, I scored 106 yesterday. My handicap didn't change. It will remain the same. This protects against people who are manipulating the system. People who want to say, I want to put in a high score so my handicap can go up. This is the check and balance system that guides against it. The same way, people are because you're 26 handicap and you want to win the next competition. That's fine. That day you're going to play that competition, you win because you have 26 handicap, you now had 65 net. Can you imagine 65 net is thrown in here? You're going to go from 24 to 18 and you start crying. My handicap has been cut. So this is a check and balance system. You cannot cheat the system. For your handicap to change dramatically, you need to play badly 20 times or very good 20 times. Okay, next one. What happens if you have only 4 scorecards? Next one. Just skip that. Next one, please. That's the last one. Okay. If you have only 4 scorecards, nothing is going to happen. It won't change. If you put in card number 5 and it's high, you go up. Card number 6 is low, you go down. You're going to keep going up and down until you have 20 scorecards. Now, a little bit of history of how we got here. It was 2018. There were 5 different bodies that did or regulated handicaps. There was the RNA. They did UK and Ireland. There's the USGA. They did the whole of the US, Mexico, North America. The Australian, Argentina did theirs for the whole of South America. And then the Asians, they had theirs. So in 2018, the USGA and RNA invited everybody to come together for a meeting. They sat down and they said, okay, put forward how you regulate your handicap. Everybody did. The next question was, what are you willing to compromise so we can have one unified system? And who feels strongly about their system that you can't compromise on it? So a body was set up. One member from each federation was asked to go back and come back with one unified system. It took a whole year to do this. After that 1 year, they all came back and said, right, we now have a system that we can use called the World Handicap System. That was step 1. Step 2 was to find out the software to use to regulate the handicap. All the software companies bid to RNA to use their system. Cloville 1, they bid for it. Handicap Master, funny enough, bid for it. There were 17 different software companies that bid for it. After another extensive period of about 6 or 9 months, the RNA decided that each federation will regulate their handicap. Every country will regulate their handicap. And this is the software each country should use. RNA decided it was CLOV 1 that should be used. The difference between CLOV 1 and Handicap Master is with Handicap Master, they have an admin system where one person enters all the score. But CLOV 1 said, we have another system within CLOV 1 called How Did I Do? Which gives the member, the golfer, the golf in his or her hands. You play, enter your score on your phone. Very simple. Again, if your mind is open, How Did I Do is the easiest system to use. You can enter your scorecard as you play along, or you can wait until you finish, enter your scorecard. What it does is, by the time the live flight comes in, you know who's won. Simple as that. Today I played the kitty as a guest. Results are not even out yet. With How Did I Do, when the last flight is coming in, you already have a scoreboard. It can be put on the TV or on the screen. You know everybody who's played, what they scored, what the handicap is, and what the net is. Simple as that. That is how CLOV 1 won the bid. And now the NGF, on behalf of all the clubs, have paid for every club the subscription for the last 2 years. The subscription 2 years ago was about £700. I will hazard a guess now it's about £1,000. That's about 2 million plus. But the NGF is paying for all the clubs right now. But I have a feeling that next year it's going to be up to individual clubs to pay their subscription. It's just a feeling, not official secret. Okay, that is the history of how we are where we are. Now, to use How Did I Do? It's an app. You can set up on your, yes?
Before you continue, let's let's have some, before, because we had a bit of some questions. Thank you.
Oh, we have a second. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just, before you leave these 20 cards and all that kind of thing, before you leave,
Yeah.
I wanted to find out from you. My home club, just as an illustration, my home club is Ikoyi. I play in Ikoyi. I have How Did I Do in Ikoyi. And I can record my scores in Ikoyi. What if, how will I be able to use my How Did I Do if I go to Ikeja to go and play, go to Ibadan to play, Shagamu, Asaba to play, and will I have, does the app allows me to put my scores from all these other clubs, and how will it reflect in my home club? And will all the games that I play in order account for the 20 cards that we are talking about?
Very, very
Thank you.
valid question. Golfers all, please, this is very important. When you're registered on Club V1, you'll be given what we call a CDH. It's like your ID card or NIN. When you register for another club, you have to tell that other club what your CDH is. Also, you're a member of Ikoyi. When you register at that other club becomes your away club. Ikoyi is your home club. That CDH includes your handicap, which you will now take to the other club. When you play at the other club, that club needs to enter your score there. You cannot enter how did I do on your phone. You can only enter how did I do on your home club. So the ComSec or the handicap sec or the admin at the other club needs to enter your score at that club. In the setup, in the competition on Club V1, when you set up a new competition, you're given a choice. Do you allow visitors or members from other clubs? When you set it up, when you get to the other club, they will ask you for your CDH. They will type it in. If you say a member of a Ikoyi club, your score will enter it.
Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
have another question here.
Good evening. My name is Akin Shemowo. I just want to make you understand. I mean, I've listened and I'm very happy with this, but there are issues that we have trying to register. I am registered on How Did I Do, for example. As you are speaking, I tried to download the How Did I Do app, and it says it is not available in my region. I went to the Play Store. Now, I also downloaded the Club V1 app, and I tried to link my club to it, and it's saying it is not possible. I may not be the only one going through this, so I thought I should ask, just in case there are things that we need to do that we're not doing well. That's all.
Okay, another valid question. Two things. Number one, How Did I Do is not on the Play Store. It's not on the Play Store. Just go to your window, your browser window, and type in How Did I Do register, and register it. No. It's not an app. It's not an app on Play Store. You go to your browser window, type in How Did I Do register, and it will work. And the second question is, you don't download Club V1. It's an admin. It's an admin only. Yeah? How Did I Do is for you to enter your score. The Club V1 is for admin only.
While we're taking
After
the
this,
questions,
I'll
please,
help-
can you help
I'll
me
help
check
you. I'll
if there are
help you
some
download.
questions online, please?
Thank you. Yeah. I was just getting confused about the Club V1, but now it's okay. On my How Did I Do, I have Ikoyi Club as my home club. I have Ikeja as my away club. So like he said, if I go to Abeokuta or go to wherever, what do I need to do? I play, then I give them my scorecard, and do what?
Before you play,
Okay.
you notify the club you're going to play.
Okay.
I'm from Ikoyi. I want to play your kitty, your competition. Here's my CDH. They will enter it.
Where do
for
I
you.
get the CDH?
It's on your phone. How did I do? Yes, yeah. When you open your profile, your certificate, handicap certificate,
I know that.
there's a number that has 1, 5 zeros and 6 digits. That's your CDH.
Okay.
Anybody now, open your
So it's not
profile.
as if I just go there, give them my handicap index, and they convert to their C. They don't. I don't need to do that.
I will explain the index later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay. Thank you.
your handicap here in Ikoyi is what you carry over there. And because each course is rated different, some are harder than the others. If you're, say, 14, and you want to go to, say, Ikeja, I'm not picking on Ikeja. If anybody from Ikeja is here, I'm a member as well. Ikeja is rated easy because it's 9 holes played twice. So therefore, if you go to Ikeja with your 14, you'll be playing 10. If you go to Ikoyi with 14, you'll be playing 18. All the courses are rated different. But your handicap, you take to Abeokuta, once they put your CDH in, it will convert to your playing handicap for that course.
Yeah. Good evening, gents.
It's raising his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Good evening. Yeah, actually, the app is on Play Store, but my issue with the app is how do you enter a score into how did I do?
Easy. I will come to you and...
Okay, and then there's the second question.
Okay, all right.
My question has been answered.
Yes.
Which is, if you're going just as a visitor
Yes.
and not an away club,
Yes.
then, but he asked and you've answered.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm fine.
Yes. Yeah. Any other question?
Yes, hold on.
Thank you very much, Gibson. My name is Mr. Okiananaba. In response to what you said regarding entering scores when you go to other clubs, I recall earlier in the year I was in Kenya and I played. I gave them my CDH, but sadly, they couldn't input my scores because I think it has to do with NGF or something like that. So I don't know whether NGF has really made it possible for us to enter our scores when we go outside this country. Another thing I want to bring to your notice, I don't know, maybe you have information on this, on course rating. Because I'm aware that the yardstick which courses are rated are based on courses abroad. And we know what fairways there look like, what the bunkers look like. But they come here, they rate our courses very cheap. I give you an instance. Ikoyi is rated to be much more difficult than IBB. That's impossible, absolutely impossible. Because I've played both courses and I can tell you that Ikoyi is a cheap course compared to IBB. So what's NGF doing about, because it's important, because when you go with your index from Ikoyi to another course, depending on the rating, the handicap you play there will be different. So I think we need to consider that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Sorry, before you answer, there's a comment online,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Charles Onwude made a comment. He said, since you require 20 cards to have a steady handicap, does it mean that new golfers cannot be allowed to play competitive golf since they would not have reflective handicap?
Thank you. Let me answer our case question first. The first question on course rating and going abroad to play, that is a question for NGF. I'm not NGF. I'm not NGF. It's a question for NGF to answer. And I can share with you their website, phone number, email address them. I am not NGF. On the second question, what was the second question? There was a second question. Okay, 20. Again, I refer back to this to the slide I made earlier about if you have 8 scorecards, 4 scorecards, your handicap will just keep yo-yoing until it stabilizes. You just have to be patient. For a new golfer, all you need is 3 scorecards. Just 3. Once those 3 scorecards are put in, it will give you a starting handicap. From then on, you begin to build and build and build and build. While you're building, when you get to the first, in fact, during that first 8, you're going to keep going up, and it depends on how you play. If you play 140 today, 115 tomorrow, or 90 the day after, if you keep going up and down. When you get to 8, it's okay. But from 8 to 20, it now stabilizes.
Sorry, Gibson.
Yes.
The reason why I highlighted this problem of imputing scores, like some other members have said, is simple. Because you're talking about regulating your handicap. I may be a member of Ikoyi, and for some reason, I may be away somewhere for a month or 2, and I'll be playing golf there. So if my scores are not being imputed, it means that my handicap stays the same here, which does not give a true reflection of my playing handicap.
Again, it's a very valid point, but again, it's a question for NGF, not for me. Sorry.
I think just an answer to that one.
Yeah.
Right now, the system, when you play where you cannot enter it over there, I think Samson is not here. He's gone upstairs. He actually mentioned to me there are a lot of people like Tunji Adebayo and co. They send the cards to him and send him the name of the course. So he actually goes into how did I do, and the course is there, and he inputs the score that is coming from Kenya, for the people that go to Kenya, Rwanda, or wherever. So right now, he does that for a few members who send in their cards.
On Club V1 or Master Scorecard?
He's not
Or
here.
handicap
He's
master.
here. Samson.
I think if find his handicap master, he can do that. Not on Club V1.
Question. Someone plays in Kenya, gives them a CDH ID, they don't input their score. What I said here was that they can send it to you, and you just answer that they can send it to you, and you are able to enter it.
Where do you enter the score? On Club V1 or handicap master? Or Master Scorecard?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We-
No. Where you said from Kenya,
Yes.
for example, handicap master, you can do that.
Okay. Not on Club V1.
Not on Club
Okay.
One. No.
Thank you.
I'm sure NGF will work on the system where that is possible. But for now, only clubs in Nigeria, if you go out and play other clubs in Nigeria, mind you, that club has to be in World Handicap System. I know there are some clubs not on it yet. If that club is registered on Club V1 and they're in the World Handicap System, you can enter your score. But that score must be entered for you at that club. But for the international, maybe not yet.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I'm here. My question as regards the WHS, as the World Handicap System, is as regards competitive golf. How does it level out or discriminate between someone who is playing veteran and others playing regular golf?
Unfortunately, there is no veteran. But what it does is you can have three or four divisions. You can have 0 to 10, 11 to 15, 15 to 20, or whatever. You can have different divisions within the competition. But for now, it doesn't differentiate.
So
with
in essence, if I play veteran here and I come up with a handicap of say, for purpose of this discourse, of say 20, if I'm playing elsewhere, I can still use that handicap to play whatever competition I'm playing elsewhere.
Correct. Whatever your handicap here goes around that club.
Good evening. You are emphasizing competitive golf. I believe leisure golf should count towards the WHS handicap as well. So if I go to Ibadan or IBB, it's not a competition, I'm just playing. How do I get my scores? Or if I go abroad, for example.
Competitive Golf International. For how did I do, every score must be entered in the system. Every score.
No, what I'm saying is, when I'm playing here, leisure or competition at Ikoyi here, I can enter my scores because I've been using the How Do I Do app, right, for some time. I can input my scores here, whether it's leisure, but competitions, I mean, something does that. Now, if I go elsewhere, whether in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, leisure golf, how do I input my scores in the app?
As I said before, every round you play in Nigeria is entered on the system. For now, for international, it's not been made possible yet to enter your score internationally. I'm sure they're working on it. It will be possible. But for now, as I stand here, only in Nigeria, every round you play needs to go in the system. Because we need to populate the system so you can have a stable handicap. So whatever round you play here, whether leisure or competitive, goes in the system. In Nigeria, it goes in the system. No discrimination. But to go out and play competitive golf, for now, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you.
Microphone.
Thank you very much. Everything you said is very appreciated. But coming back to you on this very last point, the man said, if I go into a club outside of his home club and he's doing leisure playing, for example, I play in Ikeja also. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually it's not a competition, it's not a kitty. You are qualified to just go on the course and play. So the question then is, if that club does not even give you a card, you have the option of taking the card and scoring yourself. Who signs it? Who authenticates it? And who does the posting? So that means that if I go to a club like Ibadan and play leisure, for example, on a Monday, so that means I must deliberately do a recording of all my scores and then possibly also take it to maybe their starter or somebody there who signs off on it. Okay? And then, so I can then impute it, right? What if I, over there, yeah, but what if they are not on WHS? So that means that's a wasted game.
Thankfully, Ibadan is on WHS. Abeokuta is as well. We started with 5 clubs in 2022. Now we have 17, and it's growing. Yes, sir.
Am I right to assume that this WHS is selective? You may choose to be part of it or not.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Am I right to assume that this WHS system is followed? Can you decide not to be part of it, even if the club adopts it?
Unfortunately, no. The Nigerian Golf Federation has signed Nigeria into WHS, and it's the only system acceptable worldwide. There's no country now using Congo.
Can I? We just have 5 more minutes because this session was built to last for 1 hour. So we have 5 minutes to close the hour. Like we said, change is not an event. Change is a journey. Yes, we'll be. Any additional questions online? Okay. Okay, how did I do does not work in North America. You've answered that one. It's not possible to enter scores for a game if not entered on the day of the game, correct? Yes, that's the way it is supposed to be operated now. Slope rating too poor for Lake Ikeja Golf Club. Okay, that's a different one. I can't comment on that. Okay.
Let me answer the American one.
The North America.
The U.S. Federation are not using Club V1 as their software. It's a different software they're using.
So we cannot enter scores we play abroad.
Oh, North America.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But as I said, for international,
yes,
you can't enter any score yet, but they are working on it.
Okay, so that's like I mentioned before, we can't answer all the questions today, can we? We are going to have to set up something. Kayode and myself, we're going to try to set up it's not WhatsApp. We're going to find a way to deploy technology to take as many of the questions we have, FAQs, in order to try to feed back to NGF, because like we said, change is not an event, change is a journey. And the system can only be as good as when, a system becomes more robust when you use it. It is through usage that a system becomes robust. A man cannot sit down inside his room and think up all the situations and deploy the software that solves all the problems that you have. We want to try to keep to time. Gibson is around. If you have your phone, you can have one-on-one sessions. If you have direct questions you want to ask, we don't want to step beyond the allotted time, which we said we would keep to, because once it's 7 o'clock, it's whiskey time. They go drive us come up from here. So all this lecture they do for here, they're just tolerating us. So I beg, they're just tolerating us. So this is the whiskey house. So by 7. There'll be whiskey, but who's paying for it? I guess who would. How did I do? Anyway.
Who needed help in entering scores on how did I do? And somebody else needed help on setting up. Setup. I'll come to you.
And also, sorry, thank you. Okay, yeah, I think we should, let's, go through the interface of how did I do quickly. If we have 2 minutes, Gibson, just quickly, I'm just going to go through a bit of, I wanted to just end with this to say, really, it's a lot of Turenshi on this slide, but the real story behind there is that you are responsible for the management of your handicap. So what we're trying to do is put in place systems to encourage people to manage their handicaps in the new way, okay? Because it's still an evolving system. Kayode mentioned something. I'll do a quick jump around and try to see if we can see the interface, the how did I do interface. Give me my mouse. Okay. I have the how did I do interface on this guy. So let's go. Okay, this is the interface, the how did I do interface. A lot of you, this is on my laptop. What I've gone in here to do is to look at Ikoyi Club. These are all the people who are registered on Ikoyi Club. And I can take, let me start, I can take someone like Ayomike, for example. Where is he? Ayomike. I want to see his records. Mr. Ayomike has, okay, if you look through here, you will see that Mr. Ayomike has cards from March 2023 all the way July to March 2024. And between March 2024 and today, he has over 20 games in the system. And you can see the highlighted ones are the ones that have been used to compute his handicap. Okay? I can go to someone else and you will see no cards at all within the system. Okay? We really would like to encourage people to enter this. It's very easy. It's an easy interface. This is my score. So on my score, I can see all the different games I played, all my different 100 and you know. But you can go to your home club. You go to your, when you click on the man, it shows you your CDH ID, okay? And it shows your home club, which is attached to your CDH ID, okay? And all the things that are attached to yourself, okay? So you can have the application on your phone. And the captain, I would like to invite the captain, possibly, to help us thank the presenter so that we properly, formally close this session. We can't answer all the questions today. We shall continue to work on it, and please, thank you very much for your attention, and thanks for attending. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Obina Okoli and Kaude. And we are sincerely grateful to our guest speaker. We are very grateful, sir. Thank you very much. Please, let's appreciate him, please. Yeah. The new guideline for our implementation will come out from the handicap committee. Please let us watch out on the Ikoyi notice board. But what I know is that September monthly mug, we are using the World Handicap System. If you have not submitted enough cards, no. Okay, you will, they will give us the guideline. So sincerely, I'm really very grateful to all the past captains present, all the members of the section, our elderly golfers, and the professionals who are also present here. We are grateful to the two of you. Please, thank you very much. We appreciate your cooperation. We'll continue to ask questions as we implement this day. Thank you.